Hungry Pony. Today, we're going to be touring some of my oldest digital art that I've saved over the years. I'm sure I'm missing some because stuff goes missing over the years, you know what I mean? I've been through like 2 or 3 computers at this point, so there's bound to be some missing. Also, it's not going to be completely in order of how old they are because of that, and because of how weird it is with the modifying slash creating slash other stuff that categorizes files. So let's just get started. I tend to draw myself quite a lot, which I feel like is fairly normal for artists. In this drawing, I drew myself in a Japanese town, thinking about what to get from a vending machine at night. I don't really like the shading, but I like the concept, so I might come back to this idea someday to remake it. Me and my mom have been vendors a couple of times at different craft conventions, and I designed a couple of pins and shirt designs. This one was a very edgy pin design. I think this was vent art at first, since that's my vent OC dip, who you can learn about more in the description below. But yeah, this one's super edgy and it's a little embarrassing, but you know how it is. I used to dabble in semi-realism, and this is one of my faves that I made. The shading on the hair is a little wonky, but overall I really like this drawing. The vibes are pretty good, and I like this character's design. So this is one I designed to sell to moms at craft conventions. It's supposed to be like adults giving wisdom to kids, but it really just feels like this should be on r/I'm 14 and this is deep. I really don't like this, and you can tell I wasn't passionate about it when I made it. When I made this one, I was so happy with how close I got to the original drawing from Persona 5. Persona 5 is my fave Persona game, and I was proud of this when I made it. I drew the sketch in pencil in middle school, so seeing this is super nostalgic. This was another edgy pin design with my OC dip, very cool. I really like the hands I made, even though they're just blobs of color, and I already like my design for my OC, so yeah. I believe this is newer than a lot of the other drawings because it just looks like a lot better, you know? Another dip drawing, but this one I was trying to convey how alone he feels, and I think I succeeded in that. This concept has followed me throughout the years just because I think it's a really good one, you know? I've sold a couple of pins with this on it, if I remember correctly, so I'm guessing other people like the concept too. I'll probably come back to it at some point now that I'm better at colors. Another edgy pin design, what a concept! I really don't like this one, it's too edgy for my taste, and that's all I have to say about that. I was obsessed with this idea when I first came up with it. I still like the idea, it's kind of quirky, kind of silly, but there's like no shading, and it reminds me of the genre of art that's like faceless silhouette people, which I don't really like. Overall cool design, but execution was way off. This one I still kind of like, I think it's kind of cute. I could definitely make this a whole lot better if I came back and redid it, which I might do in the future, but I'm not sure. So I actually sold a couple of t-shirts with this design on it at a convention before, which was super nice. It's pretty simple in concept and execution, but I think that lends to its charm. Also, I think old tech is pretty charming in general. I drew this person from TikTok, which I used to do quite a bit when I was younger. You can tell I didn't use the copy and paste method for the eyes, but I don't think it's that bad. The stars are wonky as heck and the shading is a little bad, but overall I don't think it's the worst. So this one I made for a scrapped Let's Dissect video about Bee and Puppy Cat. I forget why I never finished it, and I kind of want to redo it and make that video since I've been wanting to do that series again. I think it's super pretty and fits the vibe of the series really well. It's also my OC dip again, so that makes it better for me too. Another TikToker, very cool. I had a drawing of this person from even earlier in my journey, but I couldn't find it sadly. This one though is pretty silly and I like it besides how I did the hair. The hair's kind of bad. Ew, 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 ew. Okay, I used to be a fan of Illuminati. Emphasis on used to. I absolutely hate her now. She's an awful person, which really sucks because I actually really like this drawing. I think I did super well in the perspective, especially since this is from so far back in my past. It's just a shame that it's her. This was another sticker, shirt, pin design that I made. I imagine it on t-shirts the most though. I really still like this one too. The shading on the hands is super good, the colors in the crystal ball is good, and yeah, I just really like it. I'd say this is still up to par with my newer art actually. So I apparently remade the art of Dip in front of the earth, which I don't remember doing. This one is a bit more detailed, but I think I like the older one better. The hair shading is really pretty, I think, but that's about it. Bowie was a TikToker I really liked at the time, but I think they went through several accounts because I don't see it anymore. I guess that's to be expected. I don't know if they go by a different name now, but I think this turned out pretty cute. So I've been trying to be pretty positive about most of my art, but I simply can't with this one. I hate it with a burning passion. The hair, the shapes, the shading, just everything about it I despise. It is awful. If you've been around the channel and have seen a lot of my videos, you would know the story behind this one, but I'll tell you anyways because I'm sure most of you haven't heard of it. So me and my cousins / friends do this thing where we pass around several sketchbooks and add to each of them as we pass them around. This is one of the results of that. The crazy thing is, I've sold a shirt with this design on it. I think the eyeball girl is super cute, and I really like the eyes, so I'm pretty happy with this one. Oh my gosh, okay, so this is the first ever drawing I did of my OC guy. This is super duper nostalgic to me, because he's been around for years, and seeing his first iteration again is just so fun. His design has changed over the years, but he's pretty much the same dude. Just the same guy. This was a sticker design I made for Con. It's super simple, but I think it's pretty silly. I probably should have added some blood or dirt or something to it, so maybe I'll redo this one day, but who knows. So this one actually came with a pun and had more to it, but I think I lost that version of it a long time ago. It was the all-seeing kawaii, like all-seeing eye, but kawaii instead. I thought I was so clever back then. I wish I would have added more details to it, honestly, but the concept is still silly enough for me to like it. When I was younger, I used to be really into anime. Like, really into anime. I was into anime before it was cool, and I unironically was called a weeaboo. I was into the darker, more edgy anime, of course, so I really liked Elfen Lied. I can't imagine watching it now because of how gory and cringy and everything is. Anyways, I drew myself as the main character, Lucy. I like how this turned out, but the metal helmet really doesn't look like metal. I mean, I still don't know how to render metal, but that's besides the point. Another self-portrait, very cool, except I don't really like this one. The shading is just too off. It does look like me when I was younger though, so I guess that's good. I also like the expression, I think it's cute, and that's all I have to say about that. Like I said, I was really into anime, so I drew the ending to Future Diary. I think it was one of the last few frames of the manga that I redrew. The shapes are so shaky, but Yuno's hair, amazing, incredible, I love it. You can really tell which of them I liked more. Anyways, this one's silly. A sticker design again, this time of Mimikyu. I hate that there's little to no shading. With my newer style, this would have been so colorful and cool, but it just ended up looking muddy, so it's not my fave for sure. What a shocker! Another TikToker! I rhymed. I actually really like this one. The face is just really cutesy. I like the glasses shape and how I drew it. And yeah, I think it's super duper cute. This was for an Inktober prompt, if I remember correctly. I forget what the prompt was, something to do with eyeballs maybe. I don't like this one. It kind of freaks me out with how the teeth and the tongue just kind of like melt into each other. I'm not a fan. Draculaura is one of my fave Monster High girls, so I had to draw her. I put her in an outfit that I don't think suits her the best. I do like the hair and the idea of the skull purse. I think that's pretty silly. This is around the time I started to draw noses like little ovals, and sometimes I didn't draw mouths like in this piece. Super silly drawings, 6 out of 10. Okay. This is me and my partner as Ponyo and Sosuke from Ponyo. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it because it's so freaking cute and I love it. I think I captured me and my boyfriend's vibe pretty well in this too. The only thing I wish I'd done differently is making it so it looks like I'm falling from the sky instead of just floating, but that's it. When I made this, I was really proud of the perspective. Looking back, I could have done better, but at that time, I think it was pretty good. I also just like how silly the fish guy is. I was going for like a fish out of water in high school vibe. I'm not sure how clear the message is behind this one, but I think I like it. I used to trace a lot of real life pictures for my art. I still do it sometimes, but I do it a lot less than I used to. I think it's obvious why I stopped doing that when looking at this piece. The anatomy is just so wonky on it. The hands are scary and the faces are just bad. I just don't like this one at all. Besides the pose, I guess, everything else is just off. Now, this one is also super duper wonky, but I actually really like it. I'm sure I used a reference picture and probably traced it as well, but I just love the colors that I used. Also, I think the face is super cutesy, and that's about it. This one was a jump scare, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's just kind of scary. It's the eyes, I think. It looks too much like a doll and not in the cute way. Like a haunted doll that's gonna stare at me while I'm trying to sleep and slightly move in the middle of the night. Other than that hand is a little rough looking, and I just don't like that. I just don't like that one. It looks like I did some more semi-realism. The shading kind of kills me on a lot of my old art, and this one is no exception. I do like the pose in the face, but the shading, not the best. Okay, so bad memories are tied to this drawing. I drew this and uploaded some of the speed paint in the Creepshow art video I made, and I hate it. I don't hate the drawing, but that video was so embarrassing. I was sobbing so hard because I used to be a fan of hers, and it's just so cringe. Not cringe that I cried about it, but kind of cringe that I uploaded it while crying, so yeah, I don't mind the drawing, but it's hard for me to love it because of that. So I traced this, just straight up traced it and colored it. It's from one of the Pokemon mangas, and I thought it was cute, so I just wanted to color it. Nothing really more to it, except for those funky hands. Those funky hands are freaking me out. This is a redraw of one of my old pieces in my first ever sketchbook. If I remember to, I'll add it here just for reference. The original was just so much better in my opinion. The shading was just so bad, and I miss the details of the original. The concept is cute, but I don't know. I was actually going to make this an icon of mine in the past. The reason I didn't is because I didn't know how to show expressions with this character. Usually I think I'm pretty good at showing expressions with characters with limited features, but I usually have to rely on using an eye or something that can bend at least. So an eyeless dead plant guy, I couldn't figure it out. So I used to be super into animation YouTubers. I'm not sure why I stopped watching them. I don't even remember all of them, sadly. I remember Let Me Explain Studios, Jaden Animation, and The Odd Ones Out, but I have no idea who the other guys are. I think I traced this from a base a long time ago too. I think I pulled off all the different art styles and the eyes, but other than that, I think it's pretty subpar. I think I based this off of like early Magical Girl manga. I don't remember if I traced it or not, but I think it's super pretty. I love the colors and the shading, so I like this one quite a bit. Eyes are something I used to like to draw like a lot. I mean, I still do, but it was like 80% of what I used to draw. I think this one was also for an Inktober thing, if I remember correctly. They're kind of spooky, and I think they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. This art style is so cute, and I kind of miss it. The blob of color hair, the more sharp lines in it, the simple colors. I really like it. I should honestly try to study and update the style of mine because I miss it. Okay, so I like the idea of this one, but the execution is not the best. There's little to no shading, and parts that I did shade look messy. Maybe I'll redraw it one day, I'm not sure, but this definitely isn't one of my faves. Now this skull is good. It's probably not super anatomically correct, but I think that's fine. I'm pretty sure I drew this one traditionally first and then just colored it digitally. The colors are pretty and I like it overall. I think it turned out good. I also drew this one on paper first and then inked it and colored it digitally. It's pretty good, I think. I wish there was some kind of shading though, and the cigarette kind of looks like he's biting it, so that's a little silly. But yeah, I think it's pretty good for how old I was. If you can't tell by now, I really like trying out different styles. I was dabbling with a lineless style for a while there. This This is a self-portrait from when I had super short hair. I love it personally. I think it's super duper cute. I love the eyes, and yeah. Another self-portrait, this time from when I had split hair that kind of bled together to make purple in the middle. This one looks kind of crazy to me because the wrinkles I did on the shirt. I have absolutely no idea how the hell I managed to do that. I can't even do shirt wrinkles now, so I'm pretty happy with how that one turned out for sure. This one was supposed to be Madonna. I don't think it looks like her. That being said, I actually really like this one. The shading on the skin is really pretty, I think, but it for sure doesn't look like Madonna. Despite that, I like it. Looking back at more of my realistic stuff is so weird since I don't do that anymore at all, but it's also super cool to see what I used to be into. Another somewhat realistic style piece, this time of my mom before she lost a ton of weight. I know y'all don't know what my mom looks like or looked like, but this is actually a pretty good drawing of her at the time. It looks almost exactly how she used to look, so I think that's pretty cool. I used to do studies of other people's art. This is one I did of baby Moana from the first movie. I don't know if you can tell, but that's who it's supposed to be. But I tried. Super silly drawing, 6 out of 10. Okay, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. It's of my cousin and his wife getting married and kissing, and I hate it. I don't think it looks good. The lines are shaky and disjointed, and they just kind of look off to me. Not a fan. I was so happy with this drawing when I first made it, and I still kind of am. The expression she has is super cute. I think I designed the room fairly well, and the overall concept is adorable. I really like this one. Maybe I'm a bit biased because this is my favorite OC ever, but you know how it is. So this was Among Us fan art. I hate it. There's not much more to say about it. I don't think I need to explain why I hate it. It's just off and weird and bad, and that's about it. At one point, someone asked me to design them a tattoo. I don't think they ever ended up getting it, and honestly, I don't blame them. I like the concept of it, like the butterfly aspect of it, but I don't think I pulled it off very well. It's supposed to be the Death Tarot card, but I don't think that reads very well either. Now this is a cute one. Can you believe this one and the Among Us one were like only 1 month apart? Because I can't believe that. This one is just so much better in every single way. The shading in the hair is still kind of funky, but I really like this piece a lot. I think it was also supposed to be a self-portrait, but I'm not 100% sure. The drum set is definitely my favorite part of this one. The face on it is super cute, but the actual drummer? Absolutely not. Why do her arms look so broken? I just don't like this character design, I don't think. Which is a huge shame. I'll have to come back to this idea because it's super cute and I love clowns so much. Another one that brings up bad memories. Yay! Yippee! This is a character I have absolutely no idea who. I drew this for an old friend I used to have who dropped me out of nowhere with a couple of other of my friends. So that was fun. Because of that, it kind of sours how I feel about this one. I don't think I can bring myself to say I like it, so let's just move on, shall we? This was a collab between me and one of my besties, Graham. He's so insanely talented, I swear. His side is making my side look kinda bad. Those hot dog fingers are kinda killing me, and the shading in the hair is so bad. Good idea, bad execution once again. Speaking of messed up looking hands, what is that? I can't even tell what's supposed to be going on here. This is a drawing of me and my girlfriend. We both look very scary. I'm trying to stay positive, but the last few drawings have been atrocious. Let's move on. I regret moving on. The proportions are just so off. There's just no room for the other eye on the face at all. And what is that? A nose? A mouth? I have no idea. What I do know is I dislike this one. This one is kind of cute, I guess. The pose is nice and the colors are pretty good. The only thing I wish I changed is adding more shading and actually drawing Hello Kitty myself instead of using a PNG. Other than that, I think it's a pretty cute concept. And we finally have made it to the last picture. This is my lovely GF in some very cute gothic-ish makeup, looking very pretty as per usual. I wish I added more details to the hair, but I really like this one a lot. She is very pretty in this drawing in my opinion. So yeah, that was some of my early art pieces that I made digitally. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for my next video, comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye!